Good morning, students. Today, our class is Social Science, and we will study a new chapter, Unit number 7, in the footstep of the Mahatma Part 1. This chapter is very big and lot more to understand. So, I am reading its summary point wise that you can understand easily. Okay, let's start. The full name of the father of our nation was Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi. Gandhiji went to Africa to practice law. Due to racial differences in South Africa, Indians could enjoy very few rights as compared to the whites. To protect against the injustice, insult, and demeaning behavior of the British towards the Hindus residing in South Africa, Gandhiji performed satyagraha here. Truth and nonviolence, these were the two important aspects of satyagraha. After the successful fight back through satyagraha in South Africa, Gandhiji returned to India in 1915 CE. On the advice of Gopala Krishna Gokhale, Gandhiji toured the whole of India and tried to understand the needs, the plight, and the conditions of the people. Gandhiji established the Satyagraha Ashram at Kocharb, Ahmedabad on 25th May 1915. After a year, Gandhiji shifted the Satyagraha Ashram to the banks of river Sabarmati. Champaran is located at the foot of Himalayas in Bihar near Nepal. It was famous for its mango plantation. European landlords would force to farmers to produce indigo on two on 3 by 20th portion of their land in Champaran. They would then make their sell it at a low price. This is how the European landlords were exploiting the farmers of Champaran. Gandhiji stayed in Motihari village in Champaran and talked about the problems of these farmers to the British rulers. The British promised to implement Gandhiji's suggestion. This is how the Champaran Satyagraha became a success. In 1917 CE, in Kheda district, the crops were completely destroyed due to very heavy rainfall. In spite of this, the British government started collecting tax instead of waiving it. Under Gandhiji's leadership, the farmers performed satyagraha in protest against the British government. This satyagraha became famous as the Kheda Satyagraha. Gandhiji said to the farmers of Kheda district, "We will not pay the tax until the government accepts our demands." Gandhiji wrote a letter to the commissioner saying, "If tax of farmer who are poor is waived off only when they will the prosperous ones pay tax." Finally, the collector passed an order accepting Gandhiji's demand. This is how Gandhiji gained success in the Kheda Satyagraha. After the success of the Kheda Satyagraha, the farmer of Gujarat as well as India became fearless, and there was a new awakening among them. Moreover, the nation found a devoted and committed leader like Vallabhbhai Patel, who had an extremely strong willpower. According to the Rowlatt Act, any individual could be arrested without giving any reason, and he could be sent to court for further case proceedings. The Rowlatt Act had total control over the fundamental rights of expression and freedom of speech of every individual. It also gave more powers and rights to the British police. So Gandhiji called the Rowlatt Act as the Black Act. A meeting was organized in 13th April 1919 on the day of Vaishakhi full moon night at Jallianwala Bagh in Amritsar to pay tribute to the martyrs who had been victims of British exploitation and also to protest against the arrest of popular leaders Dr. Satyapal and Dr. Kichlu. About 10,000 people had gathered for this meeting. When the meeting was in progress, General Dyer ordered his soldiers to open fire without any prior notice on the weaponless people sitting there peacefully. The firing stopped only when all the ammunition was exhausted. According to the government record, 379 people died and 1200 were injured during the shootout. After the horrifying incident, Gandhiji completely lost faith in British justice and commitment. After their victory in the First World War, the Allied nations signed a treaty with Turkey that had been defeated in the war. According to the treaty, the Turk Sultan title of Khalifa was cancelled. Indian Muslims started a movement to protest against this treaty. This protest came to be known as the Khilafat movement. Treaty means agreement. The main leaders of the Khilafat movement were the Ali brothers, Maulana Shaukat Ali and Maulana Muhammad Ali. In 1920 CE, the non-cooperation movement was started under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi. At the very beginning of this movement, Gandhiji returned the title of Keshari-Hind. The two aspects of non-cooperation movement were boycott and creative. Boycott, complete boycott of government jobs and honors, legislative meeting, government educational institutions, foreign clothes and other goods. Creative means creativity, including spinning of khadi, removal of untouchability, Hindu-Muslim unity, saying no to alcohol and propagation of Swadeshi and national education. During the non-cooperation movement, many national education institutions like Gujarat Vidyapith in Ahmedabad, Bihar Vidyapith, Kashi Vidyapith, Jamia Millia Islamia Vidyapith in Delhi, Tilak Vidyapith in Pune, etc. were established. In 1922 AD, the angry farmers of Chaudi Chora village of Gorakhpur district of Uttar Pradesh revolted against the sudden attack of the police on a peaceful rally and set fire to a police station. All the 22 policemen inside were killed. Due to this violent incident, Gandhiji withdrew the non-cooperation movement. In the seven member Simon Commission, all the members were British. There wasn't a single Indian representative. Therefore, all the Indian leaders boycotted the Simon Commission. The slogan of the public that revolted against the Simon Commission was Simon, go back. In 1928 CE, the British government increased the taxes on land by 22% in Bardoli village of Surat district. A satyagraha was undertaken to protest against the untimely and unjust levy. Vallabhbhai Patel undertook the leadership of the Bardoli Satyagraha. He got the help of great leaders like Ravi Shankar Maharaj and Jagat Ram Dave for the Bardoli Satyagraha. The Bardoli Satyagraha was successful under the leadership of Vallabhbhai Patel. So the people of Gujarat honored him with the title of Sardar. In 1928 CE, a committee was appointed under the chairmanship of Pandit Motilal Nehru to form the Constitution of India. The Muslim League expressed their disagreement with the Nehru report. So the British government did not accept it. In December 1929, under the chairmanship of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Congress passed a resolution of complete freedom on the banks of River Ravi in Lahore. According to this resolution from 26 January 1930, the goal of the Congress was complete freedom for the whole country instead of just regional freedom. On 26 January 1930, the Congress took the oath of complete freedom. So the Constitution of India also implemented on 26 January 1950 in memory of this day. So here this chapter is over. I hope you must read your textbook and then you can understand the whole chapter. See you. Thank you very much.